Hey guys, PepperAmmy here. This week we are making leek and potato soup. But just before we get started, I want to quickly thank and welcome all of the new subscribers, and I'm absolutely blown away by how much support the tomato soup video got, so I just want to say thank you very much. Now for this recipe I'm using around 4 leeks. Now these are roughly like medium-sized leeks, I couldn't find any large ones. And roughly 1.5 kilograms of potatoes. Now this soup will easily feed 4 people and possibly up to 6. Now you want to start by preparing your leeks by simply removing the dark green and leafy parts, keeping the light green, and then slice them in half, keeping the root end attached. This way you can clean the layers without the leeks just falling apart. And you just want to run them under running water to remove any dirt, dust, or sneaky bugs that might have gone in between the layers whilst growing. Trust me, you have one bad experience, you will always wash your leeks. Now once washed, simply remove the root end and slice and set to one side. Next, to amp up the oniony flavour of the leeks, you can optionally add in an onion or two. Now I personally chose some red onions, but be careful because depending on the type of red onion you use, it might end up leaving a slight red tint to the soup at the end. Now to prepare your onions, simply peel, half and slice. That simple, and then place to the side with the leeks. Once your leeks and onions are prepared, find a suitably large pot to melt 2 tablespoons of butter over medium heat and then add in your leeks and onions. Now you want to saute these until softened and fragrant. Now whilst the leeks are cooking, prepare your potatoes. Now you can of course peel your potatoes, as a lot of people say peel your potatoes for the soup, but personally I prefer just to give the skin a really good wash and leave the skin on, as the skin does actually contain a good amount of iron, vitamin B3 and of course fibre. Plus, as we are making a smooth soup here, if it's a texture issue that you have with keeping the skin on, we are going to be blending this soup so you won't even be able to tell the skin is there. And for that, you just get some extra healthy benefits from the soup on top. Now once your leeks and onions have wilted down, add in the potatoes along with 2 litres of either vegetable or chicken stock, along with some optional herbs. Once again, I reached out for the fresh rosemary and added in a few fresh bay leaves. Now if you do have the option to use fresh bay leaves over dry bay leaves, definitely use them. And some people say adding a bay leaf does very little to zero flavouring for things. But that is possibly because they are not giving them a good squeeze before using them. By squeezing your bay leaf, you are helping to release the oils and damaging the cell walls, just like crushing garlic. When you crush garlic, it helps the allicin form. Crush a bay leaf, it gets the essential oils going. And then add in your bay leaves. Now you want to count how many bay leaves you are putting in, as a bay leaf on its own can be quite bitter and you don't really want to blend that into the soup. Now bring your soup to a boil and then reduce to a simmer and cook until the potatoes are soft and can be easily pierced with a knife or even a spoon. Now once your potatoes are cooked, now comes the fun part, fishing for herb stalks and bay leaves. Now as the potatoes start to break down during the cooking, they will start to release their starches. It will make it very hard to see anything in the soup that is not on the surface. Now this is why you want to keep track of how many bay leaves you put in, because it took me forever to find my 4th bay leaf, but I knew there was a 4th one in there. It honestly took me around 2 to 3 minutes of fishing through the soup with a spoon and some cooking tweezers to actually find the last leaf. And now simply blend your soup. Now as the potatoes gets blended, they will release more starch and it will flood into the soup and it will become instantly thicker, making it possibly harder to blend depending on the quality of your stick blender. Now if you want, you can let this cool slightly and decant into an actual blender to get a fully smooth soup. but there's nothing wrong with finding a couple of potato lumps in a potato soup. Now once fully blended, optionally add in some heavy cream. This will lighten the colour of the soup and give it a richer, obviously creamier flavour. And then you want to taste for seasoning, add in salt and pepper if desired, and then optionally garnish with some fresh chives. This is going to help play on the oniony flavour once again of the leeks. Now once again, like any good soup, this goes great with a nice crunchy slice of bread and some butter, or some nice crunchy crispy croutons. And that is exactly why there is going to be a bonus episode next week, possibly around Wednesday I do believe, showing how to make a simple crunchy bread loaf and turn that bread loaf into some amazing fresh crisp croutons. Now once again, I want to thank and welcome all the new subscribers. If you are new here and you have not subscribed yet and want more super content, we have at least 2 more weeks of Souptember left, with a bonus video coming next week, and plenty of great recipes on the horizon as well. As always, if you like what you've seen, let me know down below with a like and a comment. If you are new here, feel free to subscribe for free weekly cooking content, and I will hopefully see you all again next week. Thanks for watching.